Hey, 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 Aquarius. Come on in. Sit down. Deja Lu, psychic medium here. Let's talk about what you could be going through, how you can overcome, and what potentially could be blocking you that you're not seeing. This is definitely showing me that the universe is pushing you to do things differently. Great transformation, some bigger things here. So let's take a little time and break it down to help you understand. The first thing I got here was the superpower miracle in imagination. This here is the Forest Spirits Oracle cards, and I just absolutely love this fun energy. So this is just something that you need to remember through the reading. It kind of grounds us and brings us back to understand that, you know, ultimately you need to be making sure that you're kind of using your imagination here. Explore the mysterious allure of creativity and embrace your inner uniqueness. That's the green fairy. Absolutely beautiful. Then we got superpower miracle. Soul traveler. Search for unknown powers that will bring you good luck. And so that right there says that, do something differently than you normally have. And using your imagination in that, try to, maybe something's been coming to you and you're like, oh, come on, right? Like, come on, that's something you do in an imaginary world. But maybe that's what the universe is like. Let's believe in the impossible here. So I ask about what you guys are going through, and I see rejoice and celebration here. So this tells me that you have been, you're needing to be celebrated, ultimately. But of course, this could mean that there could be a wedding or a birthday party or something like that that you've recently been to, or that you're going to, that could potentially, you know, get you to want to shift your perspective. There may also be some conflict here because I have foundation and achievements and stand your power, right? So, with that being said, we're going to get a little bit of a deeper reading on this because I'm going to ask for some clarification. But ultimately, the feeling that I get here is that you're wanting to stand your ground about, maybe something that you've heard or whatever the case may be. Let's get some clarification on this. But ultimately, I really get this feeling of feeling nervous or anxious because you're actually considering to consider things the way you haven't before. And boy, I know y'all can be stubborn and stuff. So if you're like me and my way of thinking hasn't always been right, that's that conflict that we just spoke of. And the stand your ground, that's you wanting to speak about it and be like, whoa, there's a big change here. Let's get clarity. Clarify what this is. Let me understand. Yeah, there's definitely something here about that's deeper for you all. Maybe you were taught something in the past, but now you're like really going, you have an introspection and deeper thinking about this situation. I do feel like it's like, what do I, how do I do this? What is this here? I have something coming up about instant gratification. So consider that how, you have deeper introspection about how this could be affecting your life. Are you in a place of thinking that something or not doing something because it doesn't give you fulfillment right away? That maybe it's going to take a little bit more time, and maybe it's not working for you, but it works for someone else, It's just I feel like things could be going in the right direction for you, but ultimately, yeah, see, there's a couple of times in this reading that I've been getting detachment too. So, could this be challenging your spiritual beliefs, you know? Have you been detached from, the spiritual part of yourself and now you're like, could this possibly be the way that I should be thinking, I resisted this in the past, but I deflected this, but maybe I really should look deeper about this. This is an interesting feeling. I kind of love this for you. And I have the Page of Cups here on the bottom of the deck. With the Page of Cups here, this is being intuitive and it's receiving inspiring news, And I really love this energy because I literally feel like you're examining magic potentially, or just the deeper perspective of things like, maybe I should consider shifting the way that I say these things or do these things because, like I said in the beginning, I'm telling you, the universe is like showing me that there's some deeper contemplation on these things, but have confidence. This is what's blocking you. I ask what is blocking you, and this is your confidence. You have to believe in yourself ultimately more than anything. And, I understand you guys have this thing for people who can be cocky, but you can be confident and not be cocky. You just know, stand in your power, like we spoke of here, right? Be in that confidence and believe in yourself. And, there's also something here about maybe being tempted to, something that could be toxic to you that, maybe you're looking at different perspectives of it. Let me play around with this here in my mind for a second. It's almost like, yeah, it's like this letting go of this toxic thought or behavior that you've had, it's literally this contemplation of like, wow, that's toxic. I didn't realize how toxic that was. So maybe I should try and let this go and no longer take this with me. But regardless, in this on a deeper level, I feel this contemplation of needing to communicate something with somebody, but you're concerned about how crazy this may sound or how you feel bad about bringing up the way that you were looking at the situation. Is there a different perspective that you could have? These are just some little notes that I took here while I was setting out your cards. I feel like you're very set in your way here, and that it's hard for you to switch gears because you've been this way for a long time, or you have never known a different, way generally. And like, ask yourself, where should you be flexible here? That I just feel like you guys can be so like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, once you know, right? Like, if you've made up your mind on something, it's done. But this is challenging you. So this feels really weird to be reading this to you guys. And, consider the give and take, the flow of money here, because that's coming up to me. Money is an energy. Do some research on it. Learn. Understand that the universe, this is a funny story I can give you guys. This is coming up for me. So this weekend, I'll make it quick. This weekend, we went with the family and to the casino, and we got a hotel room, and we stayed there to celebrate my son's 21st birthday and my husband's birthday. And So my daughter, we talk about the money situation and been working on our blocks and stuff, and she literally would go up to the machine and be like, spirit fingers, like, believe in the mystical, like anything could happen, right? And boom, she would win. So, just consider how things could be flowing to you. And maybe this is the change, right? In the past, you've been stuck with money, about the money. Like, you don't like money, you think it's ugly or toxic or whatever the case may be. But now you're like, wait a minute, there is a flow here. Maybe I am worthy. So you have the devil here twice. So this is definitely something that is toxic, okay? This one did come out in reverse. So in that, this is letting go of that. Or, you could still be being tempted. That doesn't mean you're taking the action of it. So this could be overcoming any addiction. This could be not letting something, maybe it's not letting something tempt you, right? Like, maybe since we were talking about the casino, maybe you're not wanting to go to the casino and you're not trying to be tempted by it. The fact that, this girl just waved her fingers in front of the machine and she made magic happen, like, oh, what could I do this? But you shouldn't do that because you've got a history or something. You know what I'm saying? But the feelings in this is you just ultimately really seeking the truth, trying to figure it out. But this is deeper. This has got to be something within yourself. This doesn't feel like something that could be on the books, other than potentially maybe looking up and learning about, the flow of money and how energy is in that, okay? And then rest and reconsider. So this is the deeper contemplation and letting go of this toxic belief. So the feeling of this is kind of freeing, like, oh man, I didn't have to really believe this whole time. Like, there is magic. Magic is real. And I can't believe that I'm doing this reading for you guys right now. I just got a 1222 up there on the screen. So I love that for you guys. Let me see, what else do we got here? I have deflection, and it says incubation, but it looks like you're in a wave, right? Being the surfer in a wave, but that's you in this belief. You're in this belief here, and out there is everyone else's or the other belief that you're looking into, right? Your focus is just that it's being blocked by what's going on around you, what you've been taught, and all these beliefs on the inside. But out there, look how fun it is out there. They got a boat, and it looks magical out there. You see what I'm saying? I love this energy. It's fun. But deflection, that's that. You like, no, I'm not gonna let this bother me or tempt me, and all of that stuff that we talked about, which is just a mic drop situation, bringing stuff back up, right? And it's been validated through all of this. But and then I have this, which is what lies beneath, okay? And it is fighting for what you love. Claim what's yours. Love is a battlefield. So that's claiming the belief, and if we really want to look at this from a different perspective, this could be someone in a relationship that is like, the other person, what are they doing? Like, what are they thinking? What is going on here? Is their belief going to work for me? Bringing that in. It could also be, maybe someone told you something that is going on with someone, and you have to consider, like, the perspective of this, right? So there's different ways to look at this, but I'm loving the magical twist. So we're just going to stay with that here. You fit this in your life however you need to, but just take with you what the blocks are and put it in however you need to. And this doesn't have to resonate for everyone, right? But stay in your confidence, okay? Use your imagination and understand that there's something here to the root of this situation that you're going to have to look deeper and consider how you can do this differently. Yeah, these cards here, awakening, a temporary pause for reflection and insight, an awakening where you see things in a whole new light. Embrace your own uniqueness and charitable actions. And then I have celebration again. That's twice. So much to celebrate. Send gratitude to the divine and the angels for the peace and prosperity coming to you. Peace and commitment in your personal life. I love that. It's such a cool card. And you guys got a lot of fire going on around you. And that makes a lot of sense because of where we've been at with astrology. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Whew. Shadow work here. Am I clear on what my soul really wants? Take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. I love that. And then it says, ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? Then take one step in that direction. And then what is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now? And that's what I was saying, like this limited belief here. What story are you telling yourself when you think about your dreams? What is the first limiting thought that comes to your mind? If you are not living the life you desire, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. It's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eye. Where did it come from? What new belief are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your results? Remember, your belief is the root of your result. Own it, heal it, and upgrade it. Be yourself. Don't let anyone dull your shine. Stand in your power and communicate and talk about whatever it is that you need to do. If there's something different that you're wanting to try and you're holding it in and not discussing it with someone, maybe someone could help you with this perspective. Talk about it. Sometimes, we can live in our imagination and pretend, or whatever the case may be. And fairy tales can happen. So, that just come to me. I love that for you so much. But know that I understand change is hard. I really sincerely do. And I know it can be difficult looking at other people's perspectives and coming outside of the box. Believe you me. But let go of judgment. Don't let people judge you. It's okay to be different and it's okay to be uniquely you. You are absolutely beautiful the way you are. And if you're trying to find a way to not be so serious and maybe to have a little bit more fun and, believing in magic and all of that, do you, however it is that you want to do this. But know that this new moon that is coming up, we literally just passed the full moon. I think we're like one day out of the energy, but the new moon coming up, so that could be a couple of weeks. And this could be timing as well. This is a timeless message. But for some reason, this new moon is coming up to me that there's some big changes coming on between now and then, okay? And the new moon here that's coming up is, see, we just did the flower full moon in Scorpio on May 1st. May 16th, new moon is the Taurus new moon, and it's about stability and abundance. So, you know, if we're talking about abundance here and money, then maybe this is you getting the job of your dreams, you know? So fit this however you will, but there's definitely something to celebrate here. I love this for you guys. But bye for now.